Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken in these chambers that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. Traffic, potentially less of it, will soon be moving a little slower through one Edina neighborhood. The City Council recently gave the green light to plans to reduce traffic speed and the number of cars traveling along Edina's West 70th Street corridor between Highway 100 and France Avenue. The city hired SRF Consulting Group nearly 3 years ago to develop possible solutions for transportation and land use issues within the corridor. A study advisory committee made up of residents, business owners, and members of the Transportation and Planning Commission was formed to work with SRF. The goal of the study was to lower speeds, reduce traffic volumes, and increase safety along the corridor.
I'm pleased that the council is taking action and moving forward on our recommendations. And I think everyone in that area will benefit greatly from the recommendations that have been provided.
In January, the Edina Transportation Commission accepted the committee's several recommendations for the corridor, specifically endorsing a three-phased implementation plan that included roadway, intersection, and traffic control improvements. In February, the City Council received the study subject to a number of modifications. Edina is working to weather the current economic recession and may be faring better than many other metro cities. That's according to Edina Mayor Jim Hovland during his recent State of the Community address.
I hope you're feeling as confident as I am about the economic situation in the city of Edina.
Hovland, along with Edina Public Schools Superintendent Rick Dressen, presented the State of the Community in February. The duo shared current trends and projections affecting the city and the school district. According to Hovland, Edina seems to be more recession-proof than its neighbors when it comes to property values. The Minneapolis Area Association of Realtors reported that the median sales price for a single-family condominium and townhomes in Edina was $388,250 in 2008, an increase of 3% from 2007. Overall, the metro area saw a decrease of 13% in the median sales price. Edina is the only city with more than 200 sales in the county that experienced an increase in the median sale price. While property values have fared better than in other communities, the city has seen decreased building permit and park and recreation program revenues. In the past, Edina had received market value homestead credit from the state. That funding will not be available in 2009. The $230,000 state aid loss amounts to only about 0.75% of the city's general fund revenues. The school district is experiencing a much more significant loss in state aid. Even in these more challenging economic times, dog owners are still finding ways to get their pets a little extra exercise. Edina's existing off-leash dog park at Van Valkenburg Park has continued to thrive, so much so that plans are in place to open a second dog park for small dogs this summer.
I think it's a great idea. I know there's some people that have small dogs that are afraid to bring them over here. Sometimes you can come and all that's here is big dogs. So I think that those people especially will be happy about it.
Normally, when off the owner's property, all cats and dogs in the city must be leashed. But the city has operated an off-leash area for dogs at Van Valkenburg Park for several years, giving owners a place to let their dogs run and play. Responding to requests from dog owners, the Park and Recreation Department will create a separate area for dogs under 20 pounds at the park this summer. The existing off-leash area is open daily from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Dogs must wear a special blue collar, which can be purchased at Edina City Hall or online. Permits with collars cost $25 for residents and $50 for non-residents. Discounts are given for multiple dogs. Being role models to the youth of the community isn't enough for the Edina City Council. Mayor Jim Hovland and members of the Edina City Council want youth to be a part of decision-making at City Hall, too.
For the first time ever, Connecting with Kids decided to give leadership awards to various organizations and groups within the city of Edina to highlight the fact that there are people out there working to build assets in children.
In February, the Connecting with Kids Board of Directors kicked off the year by presenting 5 leadership awards. The City Council was presented one for demonstrating that community values youth, one of the board's areas of emphasis.
Show our appreciation for the fact that they do have students on the city boards and commissions, that they're valuing the energy and excitement that the kids bring, that the community actually does value youth, which is one of the assets that Connecting with Kids is trying to support.
Current youth members of advisory boards and commissions are Sharanya Surivasan, Dolan Lee, Elizabeth Montgomery, Shara Motati, Julie Sirks, Patrick Schnettler, Haley Lee, and Benjamin Fox Paduba.
And so we have a way to give back to our community and beginning to be an active member by just understanding the issues in our community.
2 Edina teenagers also received a Connecting with Kids award for bringing an international issue to their high school. Edina 16 Eric Shafroth caught up with the girls on the night they questioned, will it ever be never again?
As the day begins at Edina High School, both teachers and students file into school eager to continue their education. Today, however, students will be enlightened beyond their standard curriculum thanks to 2 young students determined to make a difference.
Our main goal is that we educate people to want to be active.
Shara Motati and Emma Weisberg have made Edina High School unique in Minnesota for one very special reason.
Our event tonight at Edina High School is featuring Dr. Ashish Brahma, who is a refugee doctor for over 27,000 refugees.
He's doing an international tour right now, and these next couple of days he's in Minnesota, and we are lucky to have him because this is the only high school in Minnesota he's speaking at.
He's always smiling. He got his lot thrown on him. He can't walk.
Ashish Brahma's speaking tour is to bring awareness to the current situation in Darfur, Africa, where under a corrupt regime, hundreds of thousands are being murdered in what can only be called a quiet holocaust.
About children being carved up and chucked into the water wells so that the water wells would become infected and nobody could use them again.
So the genocide in Darfur started in 2003, but it's really been ongoing for decades.
Since 2003, the government has employed militia groups known as the Janjaweed to continue the slaughter. The Janjaweed, meaning devil on horseback, is responsible for over 400,000 deaths of innocent men, women, and children, and the displacement of over 2 million people to refugee camps.
You can't imagine how just a little bit of speaking up and speaking out just goes such a long way.
The impact of Dr. Brahma's words were made clear as his audience cheered and lined up to shake hands with the man who has clearly left a piece of himself with the audience at Edina High School.
It was like a riot at the school. Like, people were trying to get in and people were sitting on the floors to watch. We are really proud of Edina right now. The action is what we're waiting for.
And action is exactly what Shara and Emma got. Some say one man can't make a difference. Apparently, one man and 2 young women can make a very big difference.
Serving the community will continue to be a theme later this fall when many of Edina's youth, businesses, and service organizations will be asked to come together for a special day dedicated to service. Recognizing Edina's proud tradition of philanthropy and volunteerism, an Edina Day of Service was established and set for October 24th. Connecting with Kids leaders will work with the city to encourage all residents and businesses in the community to participate in some way. What a great way for the community to come together. It will be fun to see all of the many accomplishments in Edina that day. Thanks for watching this month's episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.